enriching.
Good morning.
Hi
Good evening,
guys.
Good afternoon. Good whatever. Just good day.
So, it was the opening ceremony last night. What do you reckon?
It was good. I enjoyed it. It was nice. I mean, obviously we've been to lots of different opening ceremonies nice before. So it was nice to see like the drumming circle happening there, the kind of local tradition from this kind of area, from the indigenous tribes. It was nice to see. I was chatting to Peta, the organizer, and she said this year was the most number of people that had been to the opening ceremony. So it was nice to kind of see that and have that community vibe and the atmosphere around it. It was nice to see so many parts of the community come together for it. So you had the cross-country skiers here, you had the people doing the snow walking, you had people with the skidoos, etc. It was all the different kind of representations of winter sports that are kind of happening in this area. There was a representative there. And even though it was kind of a little bit of a faux pas with the torch, and Pet was saying this morning she forgot to fill up the little canister that has the torch in there. Everything just went fine, and everyone enjoyed it, and it was such a lovely atmosphere. And then afterwards, you know, we came back to the sculptures, and people were asking lots of questions and admiring the sculptures and stuff. And there's been people here pretty much all morning, actually. So it's been good.
Yeah. I've got to say, from a vibe, we talked about this a few times this week. So the Swedish side was pretty amazing festival. The Japanese side was pretty tight. It was pretty amazing festival. The Austrian stuff, you're on the Alps, and it's pretty amazing being in the Alps. But on this one, I've got to say, I've never felt so much connection other than when I was in Serbia, with my wife and her family, and just the welcome and just acceptance that you get. It's just kind of off the scale. And you've kind of got these personalities pushing it out there and doing their thing. And each one's kind of been involved in the process. And I think for me, and we talked about this the other night, was if you think of a Barack Obama when he said, yes we can. This place has got a kind of yes we can kind of attitude about it. And I guess there's loads of strings elsewhere going, no you can't. But it's got a yes you can atmosphere. It's near Canada. It's almost got. I don't think we're in America, dude. It almost feels like we're in Canada.
No, definitely in America. And we enjoyed the karaoke again last night as well. So that could have had that little bit of a Japanesey kind of pull through.
Yeah. We got we've always had just a single spade, and we're obviously worried about the single spade getting lost. And it's made in America. So yesterday, Kay drove us around the hardware stores, and we actually found a spade that was almost identical. So we bought two.
So now Justin's inner monkey is feeling a lot calmer. We're going to see Justin in a much more zen-like form for the next few snow sculpting competitions.
For the next few years, because I'm not going to have to worry about this blade of this shovel just disappearing. So we pinged it off a piece of stone a couple of years ago, and I felt it in my arms and in my bones and everything. But I also noticed a slight chip in the steel on the blade of the shovel, and that threw me into inner turmoil.
Yeah, definitely.
So bringing it back to our sculpture. So it's the last day of the mental health is mental wealth, and I've got to say, if we round it up, so we talked about the Victoria sponge cake. If you've not seen this before, go back to the beginning. So this is the third episode. The Victoria sponge cake that makes a mental disorder that we're talking about. We talked about yesterday how it articulates itself, and today we're going to talk about the outcomes of the articulation of the mental disorder. So with narcissistic personality disorder, the outcomes are always the same: sadness and disappointment. And it doesn't matter how rich people get, with your Rupert Murdoch, or how poor people get, the outcomes remain the same: sadness and disappointment. And if you've been involved in something like this, or you've been targeted in something like this, and you've been a product of something like this, which maybe I might have had, or someone else might have had, or you might have had, then you're gonna know how it feels. And I think one of the things we've been talking about over this last few days is a tactile process of cutting the snow, touching the snow, putting the ideas out, speaking and listening to people, how they feel, what's really happening in their lives, whether it's financially, emotionally, indigenously, like with the Indians, or whether it's eating food. And that kind of whole richness is always going to be coming in and out. And we also spoke about with other people about the amount of closeness that people shut down and kind of barricade and kind of put the barriers up for their emotions and respect. So I'm waffling on. So we went through that, and so I guess ultimately the expression of the sculpture behind this is there's never going to be christening, there's never going to be a marriage celebration. Celebrations are just done, gone, and out. And if you find yourself in that isolated position, rather than being sucked in and spat out and sucked in and spat out and reused and abused, because abuse is the definition when I was doing my sailing course, but it's consistent. So somebody can say something to you that's abusive, it's a one-off word, or somebody can be a narcissist, like the guy last night. He said, "Buddy, you can't sing for shit."
Yeah.
And he said, "I can't." But he did sing really well. And he said, "What are you doing here?" And he said, "I'm snow sculpting." And mine's like, "I'm snow sculpting." And the guy said, "I bet you can't snow sculpt for shit." And that was the narcissist in him, you put people down, put them in a place and walk out the joint and carry on doing that negativity. So reeling that back in, the only thing you can do if you're in these situations is recognize it's not you. That's the best advice I can ever give to you. It's not you. And if they're having an impact on your life or your lifestyle or your work or your community or whatever, you're going to have to just step outside of that and continue with your life because you can't control them. And I remember I was in church a couple of weeks ago and Gemma Carey came up to me and she said, "I had a vision and I need to tell you this." And when people say this stuff to you, you go, "Okay, you've had a vision, you need to tell it to me." And she said, "I just need to tell you, you need to stop being the lion tamer and let the animals roam." And I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty profound stuff." And she was kind of dead right. I no longer need to be the lion tamer. I can let the animals roam. I can get on with my thing and just let it go.
So speaking of getting on with our thing,
Yeah.
let's come back to the sculpture. And yeah, we're really kind of pleased with this. Oh, yeah.
So I need to upbeat Martin because I talked about my sailing stuff yesterday. And we need to talk about SharpFitForLife and what Martin's about and what his enablement's about. So go for it, buddy.
Oh, okay. So I think what Justin's kind of alluding to there is obviously we talked a lot about the negative sides of what can happen with mental health if you've not got that support, that kind of community around you, those kind of people that are really there to see the best in you and kind of make that happen. And that can also happen with your health and well-being in other ways. So your physical health, your physicality, it kind of supports your mental health, it supports your spiritual health, your emotional health. It helps support you as a human being. They're all interconnected. So actually starting to work on yourself and get yourself around people that support and help you and kind of encourage you. They want to see you become the best that you possibly can be. It's the best thing you can ever have in your life. And sometimes those are going to be family members, sometimes going to be friends. Sometimes you're going to need to go find someone. It might be that you need a coach that's going to help you to be able to reach those new heights because they've got the skills, they've got the knowledge, or a mentor who's actually done it before. Because then they know where they know where the traps are, right? Because they've trodden this path before. And that's what it is. It's about finding that support and that community around you. Find people that actually want to be part of your life to make you even better, make you happier, healthier, and even more higher achieving. That's what it's all about. And so it was interesting when we were chatting with people about the sculpture last night, and we're asking their opinion. You know, what were the feelings that they had? And we got some really interesting responses. We got there was a couple that said it looks like someone's starting a bridge game. Somebody else said poker players. We've had chess. There's a chess game going on. We had a couple that said it looks like the family is together, just about to say grace. And we had all these like amazing kind of loving community kind of feelings coming out of people, which has been interesting because obviously we're trying to do this to bring awareness to mental health, and how that can actually cause this burden. But in doing so, we've kind of brought out probably the best in other people because they're seeing the best in the sculpture. So that's actually, I thought that was quite uplifting.
It is uplifting. You know, we're going to be putting on broken plates with cups upside down. There's not going to be a fight on there, but there's definitely going to be no positivity. And it's just about the you know, lack of going forward, which is what this sculpture's about. You know, in humanity, in this aspect. When we talked about Inyo in Japan, we were talking about creation, positivity, continuity, new life, new light. You know, light, accepting darkness, that kind of thing. But we're moving forward. This one just isn't moving forward. It's static and it's going to go where it goes. But it's amazing to see how the other people saw, as you said, the upliftingness of it. So we've got to get around to making some plates that are broken, making some cups that are upside down. You know, we were going to a photo shoot and we ended up, and it got cancelled. The guy got severe diarrhea. It happens to all of us, you know, you can't get away from shit. And so he had to cancel the photo shoot. I'd lost a load of weight, Martin lost a load of weight. We were all trying to be positive and upbeat, and we ended up in Lincoln. And we went to go see Nottingham. We went to go see some gallery thing. And it was about this guy's life. It was just like, oh, absolutely horrible. And you could feel it and sense it. And you walked away going like, oh my God, what was all that about?
Yeah, but I mean, it's very true to say, you know, art mirrors life and life mirrors art.
Yeah,
You know, so if you're having a life where actually things are quite negative and quite downbeat, etc., then it's going to come out in your art because art is an expression of emotion and an expression of feeling and an expression of a representation of what's going on there.
Oh, nice one, dude. That rolls nicely into what's going on here.
Cool. Speaking of rolling on, we better go on with something. Yeah, it's like almost midday. It's going to be lunchtime before we know it.
Honestly, we've smashed it out. We've done the do, like we always do. Yeah, we've met some. I said to Mike before we came out, we're going to meet some new friends that we've never met before. And at my 50th birthday, I did a celebration, and I literally said, you know, cheers to the friends I'm yet to meet. And that's literally what's happened here. You know, we're really buzzed up and out of the world experience.
Yeah,
It's a different lifestyle, different culture. Yeah, they've got President Trump now. And yeah, these guys are going to go through some interesting periods in their life. We've gone through Brexit, we've gone through the pandemic, and I tell you what, if you're following us, what are you going through our lives too?
so we're going to get on with this, and yeah, we will catch up with you a bit later. What we'll do is when we get towards the end of the evening, all the sculptures should be just about finished, so we'll take you on a tour around, let you show the finished or pretty much nearly finished products that everyone's done, and yeah, we'll wrap it up probably there, and we'll catch up with you guys later. Bye bye for now.